Hello, everyone. Okay, let me try something here. I don't know if this is going to work. Yep. Okay. I've been using this, all right? So I'm in the video mode, okay? This is just basically for the photo side, for cameras and stuff. But you can use this for focusing. And that's what I love about having this port on this camera. So besides using the app, and I don't like using it because of Bluetooth and it wears down the battery faster, I'm liking this more. Now, I love the N10 grip, but it is kind of a hassle to bring it along with your camera system. If you wanted to be remote, just take it off the tripod and just leave that there. But I've been leaving this on the camera, and two reasons. If I do have it on a tripod, all right, I can easily take it off. Just have the camera with the attachment, okay? But I leave this on. I unhook the grip, and I just have, the camera, all right? So this is great for focusing. Um, I can see the box around my eye. Looks good. I'm using the 28 millimeter again. And if you notice, I can still do this, all right? But it does look kind of dark, doesn't it? But that's the way I have it set up in the first place. And then I can just, let's see, I think I'm supposed to be over here. Yeah, in the center. I'm going to do two things. One is I've done some videos and I've been experimenting between the ZF and the Z6 III. Okay, and I got two ZFs. I just found another file. So you know how you do your files and then you move them, you know, off your hard drive on your computer and stuff, because it does slow down if you run out of disk space. I noticed that you put up so many videos and the numbers weren't correlating. So I found a couple. One was with Mr. Camera Junkie, and the other one, it was something that I sent him. All right, it was the R10. The other one was the Z6 III, where I did a proper unboxing. They did a quick one and then a proper one. All right. I never put up the proper one, so I put that up. What this is about is the overheating issues. A lot of people are getting problems with the IBIS inside the cameras. And I've noticed that with the ZF, the sensor does not lock down once you turn off the camera. You can go like this and you can hear the sensor moving. And that creates a lot of problems, especially if you have it on or off or whatever. It does different things to different people. With the Z6 III, the sensor is locked down. All right, so they fixed that part. Plus, it has I think, a curtain. Um, you know what? I haven't checked in a while because I just changed the lenses and put it on there. But I know the R6 II does. I got so many cameras, folks. I forget which has what. But anyway, there should be a better image quality. On the ISO, it's on auto. I am at 4K 60. I should do it at 4K 30, but less of stuttering and stuff. And the more cameras you add, the more stuttering you're going to get. Anyway, long story short, did two things. One is I experimented with the overheating issue. So I do see the thermometer coming up on the Z8, the Z6 III, and the ZF. The ZF is quicker. It's just about all metal, but it gets warm to the touch when it's hot. And I ran it at 4K 60 for over 20 minutes. No problems, all right? I'm not going to tax it to 30 minutes, 35 minutes. That's ridiculous. Usually I just run it at 4K 30. But I've seen the thermometer come up also on the ZF quite a bit. The Z7 II, I wouldn't have to record anything. I just turn it on and it shuts itself off because it's overheating. So I got rid of that camera. I got rid of the R8. Long story short, so I test between the ZF and Z6 III. I know the situation with the Z8 because it does come up, but I've never had that camera overheat, ever. All right. I see the thermometer, and on all three cameras, I've placed a fan behind it, and then the thermometer goes away. All right. I do have it warm inside the house because I'm comfortable. Right now, it's 81 degrees. Okay. A lot of people don't like that, but when you acclimate to a certain settings, it saves me money in the long run. So instead of paying like $600 a month for air conditioning, I'm paying for maybe 200 at the most. Okay. I think 84 is fine. I just turn it on, cool it when it came home. And then when it came sundown, I turn it back to 84, and leave it on there. That way it's not running all the time. It will still run during the hot part at 84, like at 4:30 to 6. That's when it really gets hot here. But the cameras start warming up. If I had this in the studio, it'd be even warmer because I got like 4 TVs in there and they generate a lot of heat, plus a PC, 2 PCs that generate a lot of heat because of the video graphics card. So it's not a winning situation in there. I'm just going to do a little rant right here. I'm going to end the video just explaining what I'm trying to do. So I've combined the Z6 III ZFX. Okay. I might put up the videos comparing. You see, I'm going to see if there's any birds that land on the bird bath. Okay. The other video I'm going to do, so one will be the slideshow after this. One is this rant, what I'm going to do. Another one I found interesting. So I was having problems with the Z6 III with a certain CF Express card. I can put that CF Express card in. It was just a brand into different, cameras. No problem at all. And I know about, the cheaper brands and stuff. ProMaster is an off brand. My camera store recommends it. And it's kind of like comparable to like ProGrade or Delkin and stuff. It's just that it's not local. I have to order those cards in different places. I can get the SanDisk ones from Best Buy, but and then of course the Sony. But Sony's prices are something else. But they're good cards. Okay, I've never had a problem with them. I have 2 card readers. So when I use that one brand, I can't use it on this card reader. I have to use it on the slower Sony. So I used to have the SanDisk all the time because it was quicker reading. But when my camera started freezing, I had to pop the battery out. It wouldn't finish the recorded file. It would just, it's gone. And then sometimes I had to reformat the card itself, whatever files I had on there. So by putting that one in a different SD card, it worked. The faster one, the SanDisk, it didn't work. So you're doing all this stuff. Reason why I'm doing a rant is the next video I'm going to do after the slideshow, or which would be the second video. This is the first video. The third video will be where I'm going to hook up each different camera, okay? And I'm just going to use one SD card. And then, just format in one camera and put the SD card in each different camera. And what you're going to see is different menus being created by each camera. And what I've noticed is like on the Nikon, it'll create folders like for the Z9. And they have CF Express cards, but with the SD, no, I can't use the Z9. But with the Z8, Z63, ZF, they all make different folders. And I thought that was interesting. And what made me look at it was when I was swapping out the cards to see which one was in which, I had a card from the Canon R5C. So I had all its stuff right there. It had its folder, but Nikon created another folder, which was the Z63. And I experimented where I put the card into the ZF and it created another folder. Well, I don't like, when I get an SD card, I want the camera's name on there. So like I have the ZF1, ZF2, Z63, the R5C, the R62, I know where the files are coming from. It makes it much easier. Yes, there are different folders and stuff, but it makes it much easier for comparing. And I think that's that's my filing system. The only thing I hate is with Nikon, there's two separate menus where I thought I was recording everything and I forgot there's a camera and then there's one for video. And I always forget that. So when I do some settings, I'm thinking I'm in video mode when actually I'm in camera mode when I'm changing the settings. And then I'm saying, why isn't this working? That's why. I like about the Canon is when you switch, the only menus that show up is between the same thing with the Leica. All right. Lumix, they have everything. Sony, they have everything. All right. In the menus. So you just have to remember where the change for different settings are located. That's all. But that's the end of this rant, end of this video. Sorry, I've talked too long. It's 13 minutes. So thank you for watching. This is just a discussion of what I'm going to do. And I'll do the slideshow next. Oh, and the other discussion is, I forgot this. I'm finding that the rendering with the M3 Max, even if it's a laptop, the files are done quicker on YouTube than on the N1 Max Mac Studios. Now I have a 32 gigabyte and a 64 gigabyte. Okay, so 64 gigabyte is quicker than the 32. This is a 36 gigabyte, which is lower, but it has a faster processor. So I do notice that YouTube, once it's loaded up through AT&T, it's like 5-10 minutes. If it's like underneath 10-minute video file, it's done just like that. Sometimes it's already done rendering and just waiting for me to finish what I'm describing about what the video is. So this video is going to discuss on different things I'm planning to do on videos. And one is changing the files, which I've done for each camera. It helps out figure out where the files came from, especially when you have multiple camera systems. The other thing is to format your card to the camera. Sometimes, for an example, let's say they have some junk files that they leave on your camera, like bin files or, firmware files, okay, or other stuff. If you format your card inside the camera now and then, it resets everything. The only thing you have to realize is just make sure that the file naming is on the card. And what I also do is when they take the SD cards out, I change it to that number also. So if I have the Leica SL2S, it'll say Leica SL2S on the SD card when I shows up on the desktop. That way I can say, all right, I've already done this. I already created a folder where I transfer the file to that folder. I don't need that card anymore. And that's why I do that. I like organization, and I like order. I like it neat. I like it efficient. And I want to make it kind of like dummy proof, where, it's kind of like a fail safe where nothing should go wrong. And things always go wrong. But I've never had an SD card. I think I had one SD card fail on me. You already know about the CF Express, that I was having problems with this camera, but you know, what can I say? It just if it works on other cameras, it's either the drive in the Z6 III or it's in the card manufacturer. And what makes it hard is that card works in any other camera, but not on the Z6 III. So I'm thinking maybe it's the drive. But then I started thinking, well, maybe it's not fast enough to read. So the sensor is faster, but it's not a fully stacked sensor like the Z8 or the Z9. So this may be more like what's in the Z6 II or Z7 II. CF Express SD card combination, and the one on the Z8 may be totally different. I don't know. Z8 came out a while ago, so maybe it's the same drive as in the Z6 II, Z7 II. I don't know. So I test these things out. I test out my theories. I get a pretty good idea what's going on. And I like doing stuff like that. I'm tinkering, all right? I'm experimenting. I'm trying to show, even if it's boring, what I'm learning, how to work the system. I'm thinking of, even if I love the cameras and the gears and stuff, newer cameras are coming out. I'm thinking I'm turning into like the old guys that still hang on with their DSLRs. They're happy what they got. They'll only change if the system breaks down or they see something they want to jump on, but it can be expensive. All right. I'm not a professional. I'm a hobbyist. All right. I've learned from my experience. I've learned from other people on how they deal with things, so I can get the best quality images I can with the cameras. So right now, I've been recording for almost 19 minutes at 4K 60. And I don't see a thermometer on here. Whereas on the ZF, it would have already shown up. And the Z8 might have had the thermometer that's yellow. But what I've noticed on the ZF, and I don't know if you've noticed this, if you have the camera, when it gets warm, the lens gets warm too. So the bottom of the camera and stuff, and I've tried experimenting where the fan blows up, which is pretty good, and then to the back, which is pretty good also. But it's always, I found that it's better if you blow it from lower to up or even sideways. But if it's lower going up, it cools the camera more and faster. So instead of like a big one going down, you would think the heat be on the top. I said, no, it's on the bottom of the camera and it's in the front part by the lens on the ZF. So I learned that it was warm to the touch. Okay. And I didn't have a fan with it. And I recorded for over 23 minutes, 24 minutes. So that's enough. I'm just telling you some things that I'm learning. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, 2 more videos coming up. Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day.